What what's been the biggest thing in this weird off season that you've wanted to work on in your game? What are a couple bullet point items that you've really focused in on?
There's a lot of areas that we're trying to improve throughout this off season. It's been a funky one, but we've been able to really hone in on the details. It's fun now because we get to work on the application of those details and working those in game scenarios and different type of practice scenarios. And so definitely the application of details along with situation and contingency of offense, just knowing how much time's left, where we should be able to manage the clock and how we can run efficiently.
Next up, Lincoln Journal Star, Parker Gabriel.
Hey, Luke, thanks for doing this. Mario mentioned a few minutes ago increased thrust on the ball from you specifically. What has gone into maybe going back to essentially since you got to campus, how much work you've put in on that front, and where do you feel like your throwing stroke is at right now?
I feel very confident about that. I think most of the credit there, actually, I don't think I know that credit goes to Coach Verduzco because of the different ways he's been able to fix little things in my stroke here and there, and then over time it turns into one final piece. And so that's something we work on every single day too. All five of our quarterbacks, Adrian, me, Braden, Matt, and Logan. And so that's something that can continue to get better and has come a long way since we all first got here.
Okay. KLKN, Andrew Ward.
Hey, Luke, what have you learned from Adrian throughout this whole process?
Throughout this year or since I got
The,
here?
yeah, the competition, fall camp, since you got here yet.
We learn a lot from each other. I'm so thankful to have a guy like him, a leader like him, who's ahead of me that I can look up to. And since the first day I've been on campus, he's welcomed me with open arms and kind of shown me the way of the road here. And so just the welcoming in and the constant process of us working together and figuring out different ways that we can help make this offense as efficient as possible. And so I'm very thankful for him and for the rest of our team for all of those.
Next up, Channel 1011, Kevin Suits.
Hey, Luke, with the weird offseason and, you guys are now 2 weeks away from your opening game. How close to game ready are you given the short time that you've had to prepare for the season ahead?
We feel very strong as a team. There's the little bits of game plan stuff that we'll have to put in within the next 2 weeks. And from a physicality standpoint, from a detail standpoint, me personally, I'm very confident in our team and what we can do. At the end of the day, we'll go out there and have fun, do whatever, and in 2 weeks, that's when we'll really find out.
From the Omaha World Herald, Evan Bland.
Hey, Luke, I'm just curious how valuable your experience was last year getting on the field and kind of going about how you would prepare this off season. And then I'm sorry, about just how important was that off season for you? And then missing out on spring, how did you kind of make up for that lack of spring reps?
So for your first question, the experience last year, I know a couple other guys are in a similar situation. Ramir Johnson's one that comes to mind, but that's huge, just being able to get in a game situation and be able to run this offense in some truly live reps, especially as a quarterback who in practice isn't always getting hit. And so that's huge, and that's something that's very valuable moving forward. Then throughout this offseason, spring ball, it was a bummer it got canceled, but I'm so thankful for this staff, for the leaders on this team, everybody who's put a part into helping us be as efficient as possible and to improve as much as possible through this craziness of this last year. And especially in the past 3 months, I think we've been able to improve dramatically, and so that's something that I'm very thankful for.
Okay, also Omaha World Herald, Sam McEwen. Sam, go ahead.
Hey Luke, thanks for doing this. What kind of leader are you? What kind of things do you try to accentuate as a leader, and what do you think makes a good leader?
Sorry, what was that?
What kind of leader are you? What do you think makes a good leader?
Oh, there's a lot of qualities that make a good leader. I think there's some leaders who are great by example. There's some who are very vocal and outgoing. And at the end of the day, a leader has two jobs. They have the job to accomplish the mission, and they have the job to rally the troops around you. That's something, when the program comes in every year, they really hone in on those ideas. And so any way that somebody can get those two missions done is how we can be a leader. And so it's different in every moment. So I don't know if that's something that can be narrowed down to somebody specific.
What kind of leader would you like to accentuate as a leader?
One of the major things is to do your job and not try and do more than that. And so if a leader comes in every day and works hard and continues to do all the right things, that's probably the first step to be a leader. And then from there, you can learn to help others around you. But it's different in every moment. I'm still a young guy on this team, learning when to be vocal and when to maybe let somebody else take the reins. And so it changes every day and in every situation. But personally, I don't know if I can narrow that down to anything specific.
Next up, Adam Kruger, KM3.
Hey, Luke, just curious, as far as playing weight, where are you at right now? And how much have you gained since last year? And is there anything in particular in the off season, an off season weight room goal about a specific lift that you've accomplished or running or speed wise, is something that you've accomplished this off season?
We've had a couple of goals talking with Coach Duvall and Coach Straub. I'm thankful they've actually got me up to 205 now throughout this offseason. And the biggest thing in this offense, you have to be fast. And so I want to be able to gain as much weight as possible while maintaining that speed. And that's something that everybody on our team, especially from the skill position, are working towards. That's something I see in Adrian and Diedrich, Cade Warner, all of these guys throughout this offseason have been able to put on weight and get faster with it.
Time for about two more with Luke here. Mitch Sherman from The Athletic.
Hey, Luke, how much more time than usual did you get to spend with your family as a result of this off season? And you know, if so, what did you take this year from working out with your brothers? How much of an impact does that make on the player that you are?
Yeah, it's a huge impact. My whole life I've looked up to my brothers, to my dad, to my mom especially. And I think before the shutdown and other things happened, we probably hadn't been together as a family for any extended period of time in years, let alone months. And so to have that time together was super valuable. It's something moving forward will be cherished by all of us. And from a development standpoint, it was huge just being able to see how my brother works. You know, he's the hardest working person in America in my opinion. And so to be able to see that in action live one-on-one was something that's huge for me personally.
Okay, and we'll finish up for Luke with Andy Kendi, KETV.
Hey, Luke. Hey, was there ever a point that that you had doubts that you'd even play this year? And furthermore, what did you learn being a part of the group that really truly fought to bring football back this last couple months?
There were definitely doubts, but at the end of the day, this is something that kind of brought us all together. I was talking about this with Brendan Hymas actually earlier this week, and it was something that we talked about, how through all of this, we never really worried about what's going to happen or what's not. We really just enjoyed the process, and we were still lucky enough to be able to be together, to be as a team, and to really mold with each other. And so that's something we're thankful for. So no matter what happens now, we can know that we're blessed to be able to play any games at all this season and to hopefully carry that to the field. Hopefully in 2 weeks we can put it all out there, and whatever happens, we know that we had fun doing it and we worked our hardest.